Relay for Life is the world's largest fundraiser.
It's a rally.
A movement.
It's a celebration of life!
Join us to help save lives today
and bring us closer to a world without cancer tomorrow.
Hello everyone, I'm your host Leticia Reyes for Galalatina Media Group. Today I have the honor and the distinction to interview someone who works for an organization that does so much in the battle against cancer, a battle that rages on today. So please help me welcome my first guest. His name is Jose Rivera. He's the event chairman for the American Cancer Society. Jose, thank you for being here today and welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So I know I don't have to tell you, but cancer is one of those things that seems to affect so many people on so many different levels and so many walks of life. Right. Tell us a little bit more about what your organization is doing to combat it, particularly here in the Bronx.
Well, basically, to start off, Relay for Life was actually created by Dr. Gordy Klott in Tacoma, Washington. This guy just began walking a track, got a few friends together, and said, let's start doing this every day, but let's do it in memory of a cause. And back then in the 80s, people were unaware that cancer was like the leading killer of all. Everyone was smoking Winstons, Newports, Marlboros, and a lot of the vets that came back from Vietnam were not acclimated back into the world. So they went into deep depressions and ate and drank things that were unhealthy. So Dr. Klott recognized all these things and did a statistical study, and whereas he wanted to promote health and wellness, so he began walking tracks for people who were able to just walk, and those who wanted to relay on a different level, they could either jog or run. On the day of the actual relay event, Dr. Klott ran at least 25 miles.
Wow.
Which anyone knows, just 5 miles is a lot, but 25 miles. And he raised so much money that it became a phenomenon. And he began taking his relay on a tour across the country because more people began to come up in hospitals and statistical studies throughout the nation as being diagnosed with this phenomenon that we were unaware of back in the 50s, 60s. Then we had other causes come out, the crack epidemic, which caused AIDS. And then that overshadowed. So Dr. Klott wanted to bring a cause that was affecting not just people who were on substance, but everyone who just drank water or a certain type of milk that got allergic. Cancer affects people in different ways. And I'm glad that Dr. Klott came up with something that still to this day exists and is now known on the worldwide, because every country around the world relays.
Thank you for giving us that history. You're right, it is a global initiative, and a lot of people are taking the action steps to raise money for cancer. What makes your initiative so different?
Well, Relay, on the way to the leading up to the event, we reach out to every community within the Bronx. People are unaware that the Bronx within the last 3 years has risen. I'm a statistician myself. I don't know how, where I was a kid, I couldn't even do math, or I stuttered like crazy. So when it comes to cancer and I see kids going through that, I try to give them little hope and say, listen, when I was your age, I used to stutter and I had problems with math, but every day is an ongoing process. So if I could do it and become the event chairman of a big organization, you could get off that bed and take 2 steps. And kids look at me and they're like, oh, you're lying. You never even studied. I was like, all right, let me tell you something, kid. And I speak to them like they're in the street because I got to take their mindset out of the room. I got to use their imagination. And I work in a hospital, so every once in a while I try to stop by a kid and see what it is that is driving them to, stay alive. People have this power inside them, this, I don't want to say spirit, but I want to say it's deep within their soul that they have this drive. It's like the computers you see behind us. We all have a hard drive, and then we have a backup drive. And that's what happens when people are at their lowest peak. They always have something called adrenaline that pushes them. And you have to look deep within someone's soul and try to tap in to that light, because these relay events are community-based and volunteer-based, meaning I go around and I ask people, what are you doing different for the world? And then I refer back to this child that was talking to in the room. And they look at me and they say, you know, you don't go around speaking to kids that are affected by cancer. You know, do you know what cancer looks like? Cancer is in everyone. It's just something that hasn't been activated, just like everything else. You know, everyone is susceptible to becoming sick of something. There's not one person in this planet or in this universe that cannot get sick. And cancer is the number one thing that transcends through all diseases, because this is a cell that mutates. And there's 1 out of every 3 females that are affected by ovarian cancer. This year alone, 1.8 million individuals are going to be affected within the Bronx County with cancer. 1 out of every 2 men are going to be affected with prostate cancer. So when you want to talk about numbers and you want to talk about gender and equality, cancer doesn't care about any of that. It doesn't care about your race, your color, your creed, if you're male, female, transgender. It cares about you being a life that it wants to take. So this is why we try to put these relays, bring them to the communities to educate the youth, the teens, the adults, the elderly. You're not alone. There are treatment centers out there that provide free service or some information where we can recommend you to places where you can receive the proper treatment, transportation, food. You can have a peer specialist come and spend a day with you. But if you're not aware or leaving your house or getting off that bed or just using your imagination that one day I can be able to beat this because I have the support of the people and the committee of the Bronx. And that's what we do at Relay for Life. We try to encourage. We try to show someone that you got to have a consistent outlook on life, because life is only one. Of course, you want to have fun in life, but then if you have too much fun, you're not going to have the energy, and then you're going to be done laying back in the bed. So that's why we try to be positive. There's always a downside to everything, but if you wake up on a down, always know that you can get up.
Wow, that's really deep. And on a deep level, you know, we've said cancer is so prevalent in society today. Do you have a personal story of how cancer has affected you? Would you care to share?
All right, so my sister was a former NYPD, and I believe she got affected at 9/11. Wow. She had both her breasts removed, reconstructive surgery. She died on the bed and was brought back. Thank you to the fine staff at Einstein Hospital. Her name is Lourdes Rivera Soto. She's now a great-grandmother living up in Wappinger Falls. And she's one of the people that inspired me. But as of today, I was reminded of why I do this. I was at work, you know, I do social work during the day. I'm getting a little emotional, please forgive me.
It's okay.
And I get a call from my mom, and I'm thinking his mom telling me, hey, come for lunch, you know, you work right like 5 minutes away. And I'm like, oh, Mom, I can't. I got the state coming in, they're gonna audit us, and you know, I gotta make sure everybody's getting their services. They're meeting with their doctors and their therapists, and she's like, son, I need you. This is what I'm thinking she's gonna say, offer me lunch, and she says, I need you. And then when she said, I need you, I was like, what, was everything okay? And then she starts crying. And she says, I'm at Bronx, Lebanon. I'm like, you're in my hospital, what are you doing? So I immediately got out, and I literally jumped in the car and I drove. And I see a 74-year-old woman that is strong, came to this country from Puerto Rico when, you know, Puerto Ricans were being sterilized and told they can't have women because they were overpopulating the country, the world back in the 40s and 50s. And she came to this country to see the streets that are painted in gold, only to be disappointed and outlive 5 husbands, witness 2 get murdered in the streets of the Bronx right in front of her eyes. And she beat all that, and she beat prison and falsely accused and domestic violence. Seen one of her kids get killed in front of her, and lost another kid to AIDS and all. And nothing took this woman down. Not even gang wars and fights and seeing her kid died in her arms. And she even has a pacemaker, which is already like time for her to take out. She doesn't want to. And the one day I see her today, and today she looked at me and said, "It's time." And I just said, "No, it's not. It's not time." And she says, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm the event president of the Bronx, American Cancer Society. I'm going to utilize every thing I can." And she says, "I don't want that. I want you to just keep doing what God told you to do." And I said, "Yeah, He told me to be here with you. I don't care if I get fired. Mom, I'm not going back to work." And she says, "My son, you're doing what you're meant to do." I said, "Saturday is the event. I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to go through this. You're my mom. You're gonna beat this. You've been through so many presidents. Y'all lived 5 husbands. Who the hell does that, Mom?" And she says, "The book is almost done." And that's when I realized that my book was just beginning. And I'm honored to be here today to start the first chapter with you.
Wow, that was some story. Thank you for your courage in sharing that. And what a testament to the strength of your mom and your family to go through this and continue to fight the good fight, which is what you're trying to do and what you're trying to encourage others to do. Let's lighten the mood a little and maybe reflect on what are these events like? What can somebody expect who's never participated before, and what do they do to raise money?
So, what we encourage everyone to do is of course, go online to Relay for Life of the Bronx and register yourselves. You'll see you could join a team June 1st, 2019. Everyone thinks this is an event where you have to pay. This is a free community event. This is the reason why I joined the American Cancer Society. If I had to pay anything, I would not be doing this. This is all about passion. All my volunteers are passionate. We work with sponsors that give us free food, which you'll have on that day from Sangria Cafe, Havana Cafe. We are getting special waters from the businesses around. We even have a $1,000 donation, as well as basketball hoops being donated by Busy Bee within the grounds of Bay Plaza. We have lots of other organizations that are donating toys for the kids. We're going to have a kids zone. We have performers and celebrity friends that we're going to have come out and perform on behalf of the survivors, who will be in attendance in the tent, being fed, being pampered. We're going to have the females have manicures, pedicures. They're going to have their hair done, makeup. The males are going to be able to, have themselves get a pedicure as well. Us men need a pedicure every now and then.
Definitely, of course.
We're like the Flintstones with our feet at times. And as well as we're going to have a celebrity honoree. His name is Joel Medina, a.k.a. Que Bonita Bandera himself, Candela. He's actually suffering from brain cancer, and he has several surgeries. And he's one of my best friends who we're going to honor, because even though, he doesn't want to say that his time is limited, he wants to just live out the rest of the time that he has left. And this is what we do. We try to bring the awareness on the cause, but in order to do that and to keep the event lively, we try to bring stuff for Kids Zone. We try to bring hair and makeup. We're going to bring some kids that are breakdancing. This theme is Dance Towards a Cure.
Okay.
So I was recently the MC at the International Dance Parade that occurred on Thompson Square Park. I was able to acquire over 25 dance groups from around the world, from Germany, Africa, China. They're all coming up.
Wow.
They're still down here till next week, so this Saturday they'll be there, and they're all going to donate their time to cancer.
Wow.
And to the survivors and the caregivers, as well as the participants that all come out. At 9 o'clock in the evening, we're going to have an illuminaire where we light up the bags with candles and place the name of each individual that we're remembering, so that everyone can know that this is a cause worth going. Our goal was to reach 50,000. When my committee and I came in this year, they handed it to us. It was somewhere in the 19s, and the blessing of God, we're already at 39.
Wow.
And this is just our first 6 months being a part of this. I've never done anything of this scale in fundraising. I want to reach 100 by the end of the year. My expectations is no expectations, but when it comes to lives of others, I expect all expectations to be involved. You know, who, what, when, where, why. I don't care if you're a penny on the floor, I'm picking you up.
Definitely.
Because it's going to affect the life of someone else.
Understood. So, you know, I know what makes people hesitate to donate sometimes is that they think they give their money and they don't really know where it's going. When people donate to the American Cancer Society, where does that money go?
It actually goes to research. It goes to hair and makeup. I've personally seen in Einstein Hospital for Montefiore where the research goes. I've gone under the microscope and seen cells and medicines and how much money it takes. Although it may just be $5-10 to you and I, like, oh, that's not going to do anything. You'll be surprised the millions and millions of dollars that are becoming total, and the phenomenal things that occur. I've seen people that have been cured with cancer in several different type of cases, bone cancer, you know.
Well,
brain
maybe
all.
you're the right person to ask, you know, because there are so many different cases of cancer popping up every day. Are we making progress? Is it a worthwhile cause to donate?
Yes, we are. There wouldn't be a reason for me sitting here today if there wasn't. But the only way that we can move towards a cure is by having that consistent positive outlook on life. Where there's a will, there's a way. And as long as we have the mindset that it's never about me, it's always about we all can come together and find the cure.
Well, thank you for being so selfless and courageous here. Please know that our prayers are with you as they're with the families of all who are suffering from cancer. Do us one last favor and let everybody know where they can go and how they can register for Relay for Life.
Absolutely. Please feel free to log on to Relay for Life of the Bronx /Bronx. All right? And you can just go there, Relay for Life /Bronx.org. Sign up for free. Join a team, create a team, participate, be a caregiver, or if you're a survivor, just know that when you get there, you're going to be treated with royalty. I myself will make sure that once you sign in, I'm at the registration table, and I'll welcome you, and I'll take you right to where you belong, where you'll be fed, you'll have drinks, and you'll have a seat, and you'll be with a survivor so you can make them feel better.
What's the website again?
RelayForLifeOfTheBronx.org.
Well, I'm heading over right now. Thank you so much for that. Thank you guys for watching. Again, I'm your host, Leticia Reyes for Galalatina Media Group. We'll be back next time.
When it comes down to it, I think it comes back to hope. The American Cancer Society gives that to people when they need it most. They gave it to me years later after my mom passed away. I can't thank them enough.